This Presbyterian church in Seoul is one of South Korea's largest. But during the COVID-19 pandemic, most members are worshiping virtually via this Zoom broadcast held live 4 times each Sunday. It's a high-tech and safe way to worship. Reverend Oh Jung-hyun says it's a challenging dynamic, but his church is still energetic.
10만 명 정도.
We have more than 100,000 viewers. Every week we are getting 85 to 90% of our usual donation.
As is the case in the rest of the world, South Korean churches have found new ways to worship during the pandemic. But South Korea's experience is unique. Health authorities have linked about a quarter of the country's total coronavirus cases to cluster infections at just 2 religious groups, including this fringe group in the 3rd largest city of Daegu. Authorities quickly imposed tight restrictions on church gatherings. It's been a struggle for smaller churches, like this Independent Baptist congregation on the outskirts of Seoul. Here, there are fewer resources to conduct online services and pay staff, says Pastor Oh Song-hyun.
교회 역사가 오래되고
Our situation is completely different. More established churches may have enough committed people, but an independent church has few members and the facilities are relatively sparse.
2 South Korean pastors told VOA they expect around 30% of smaller churches to close if the pandemic lasts much longer. And while churches like this have mostly been cooperative, others have not, including this Seoul church whose pastor is a prominent government critic. He says religious freedom is being restricted. But law professor Lim Ji-bong says the government is within its rights to restrict religious gatherings for public health reasons.
This is a temporary restriction on the external freedom of religious assembly, and it is in the public's interest. I disagree with any notion it means the government will be able to limit this freedom forever.
It's a question of how to deal with the virus while limiting freedoms as little as possible. So far, South Korea has succeeded in containing the virus. Many churches, though, wonder how much longer the restrictions will last. Bill Gallo, VOA News, Seoul, South Korea.